This isn't quite revenge, more like petty justice. I was a manager at a small chain grocer several years ago. It was a shitty job in the bad part of town, and I was working 50+ hours a week on salary. So no overtime, and I was attending college. I was tired, yeah. Our store had 3 managers: store manager Kevin, assistant store manager David, and third-level manager me. Kevin was an okay guy, sometimes a jerk, but usually easy to get along with, and a thief. Could not prove it. He also scheduled me to work nights like 6 days a week, and he wouldn't budge on that. So I had to deal with the shitty lunatic customers that only come out at night, all the time. It was extremely frustrating, and it wore down greatly on my sanity. David was a complete moron with a room temperature IQ, did half-ass work, thought he was hot shit because he drove a motorcycle sometimes, and was a thief. Could not prove it. When I would come into work in the evening after class, employees would always vent to me about how David was bossing them around while he sat on his fat ass all day. There was not a lot I could do except offer a listening ear and laugh and cut up with him while we finished our shifts. I was usually the only manager working in the evenings, but David and I had scheduled one night to work together on a project that needed both of us to be there. Probably rearranging shelves or new product placement or something. We were getting ready to leave, and I was going to take my cash drawer to the back to count it. David asked me to wait a minute because he needed to buy some packaged, butchered meat for dinner. No problem. He came back with a 5-pound package of beef with a ridiculously low price, like $3 or something. It had a sticker with the correct, but different item description we didn't use. I ran the cash registers a lot and was very familiar with our products. I didn't say a word and rang him up. When he walked away, I reprinted a copy of his receipt and stuck it in my pocket, and we closed up for the night. I was scheduled to open the store the next day on Saturday morning, so when I arrived, I walked to the butcher room to investigate. I found the plastic wrapper from that package of beef with the original price tag in the trash can, so I grabbed it. I also found that the pricing scale that prints the price stickers had that wrong label still selected, and he had manually keyed in a dramatically lower price per pound. I grabbed one of those stickers too. Then I walked to the DVR in the manager's office and wrote down the timestamps of the footage where David took the meat off the shelf into the butcher room and walked out to my register where he bought it. I stashed the evidence in my locker until Kevin came in around noon. I showed the evidence to him. He got in touch with our district manager, Rocky. Rocky called David the next day and asked him to come to the store, and after a short behind closed doors meeting, David was fired with cause, so no unemployment benefits. Shortly after, I was promoted to assistant store manager. Justice was served and nobody missed that loser. A few months later, we got a piece of mail from St. Jude Children's Hospital. It was a fundraiser package to collect quarters for leukemia research. I thought it was a great idea, so I had the cashiers ask for 25-cent donations to put in the little cardboard stands they sent us. After the program ended, we had collected about $250 in donations. I kept the donations in the safe. The instructions in the fundraiser said Western Union was one way to send the donation in. That was down the road from us, so it was easiest. Kevin took the money to Western Union, and when he returned, I asked him for a receipt. He said he didn't get one. I was suspicious. A few weeks later, we got a letter in the mail from St. Jude. It was a thank you letter for our generous donation of $50. That fiend bastard stole money that could have saved a child's life. I was raging inside. Roughly a year later, Kevin and I were working on another project at night. I had finished cleaning the floors and noticed I had not seen him for a while. I was looking for him to ask if he was ready to leave, and I heard the door to the dairy cooler open. It has loud refrigeration fans inside, so I figured he's stocking the milk or something. The door was only slightly open, so when I opened the door and walked in to talk to him, I saw him hovering over a shopping cart filled with groceries that he was putting into shopping bags. He was startled and started talking to me about some random thing, like how nervous, guilty people do, as he hurried out of the cooler. I acted like nothing happened, and we closed up the store and went home. Kevin was scheduled to open the store the next day. When I arrived around noon, he went home shortly after. I went to the dairy cooler and the shopping cart is gone. I pulled the DVR footage and saw him arrive at work about an hour early and park his truck at the front door. Unusual. Then he rolled his shopping cart out of the cooler into his truck where he loaded all the groceries. He then locked the doors, drove off, and came back when he normally would to open the store. Since all the items were in bags, you couldn't see them, so technically I couldn't prove he didn't buy them, unless I watched a shit ton of footage and followed him around the store on the DVR. Hours of work. There was a glimmer of hope, though. One thing he stole was a jumbo pack of paper towels, so it would not fit in a bag. This particular brand of paper towel was also overpriced, so customers had not bought a single one, and there was only one pack missing from the display. I needed a little more evidence though. I got the barcode number from those paper towels and ran a report on the computer for any transactions the entire week that contained that number. It showed no results found. Perfect. I printed that and wrote down the DVR timestamps. By coincidence, our area manager, Rod, he worked under Rocky, happened to show up that same day. I showed Rod the evidence and you can guess what happened after that. Kevin didn't get his unemployment benefits either, lol. Rocky hired someone to replace Kevin instead of promoting me. But shortly before then I had finished my degree, so started a real career a few months later and got out of that shithole.